when we started Primal, I started to have a realization that this is going to be different. It's the most complex show we've ever done. And I think in the first episode, it's when I realized we hit a different level. And there was a scene where I think Spear just jumped on the dinosaur's head, right? And the dinosaur's trying to throw him off. And it was a backwards walk with the motion of trying to throw him off up a hill. And it was completely dimensional. It was completely fully animated, super complex, and it looked incredible, and it looked effortless. I was 25 when we were doing it, and we were all about that age, and we really had no clue what we were doing. It was really technically my first directing job. And we had this storyboard pitch. This guy pitched the show, and it was incredible. Like, the whole room's crying, laughing, right? And I got scared because he wasn't pitching it. He wasn't trying to imitate Dexter. He wasn't trying to imitate Dee Dee. He just did a funny voice himself because he's a funny guy. And I got scared because I go, how am I going to translate what he just did into this episode that everybody fell in love with so that the audience has the same reaction? And it kind of dawned on me, like, right, my job is to take this story and communicate it the way we intended it to be. So it was the Muffin King episode, right, where the dad wants mom's muffins. And it was everything was funny about it. And so there's this scene where he's sitting in the room sulking because he's not allowed to have it. And he just goes, "Those rotten kids," and he punches the air, and that's when I added it. And because it was just one drawing of him complaining, but then I needed some animation, some movement to support it. And when we saw it, like, the whole room fell apart laughing. For Samurai Jack, in the first episode, we had a 7-minute run with no dialogue. We got it back from the studio, and it was all animated in color, no sound. And the reaction was so great that I knew we had something special because they were like, we've never seen anything like this. And then when we were working on the Blind Archers episode, like, that's one of those episodes that has all the different elements that make Jack great. And just working on it, seeing the pitch, knowing it's going to work, executing it all, seeing Scott's colors, who did the backgrounds, amazing. And everything about it was starting to come together. And I was like, right, this is what Jack is.
Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil.
Powerpuff Girls, I was the producer and director. Craig was the creator. We had a lot of action, actually, in Powerpuff Girls, but also it was really fun, too. So it's just kind of that combination of funny and action-y. We started to get our own specific voice for that. Clone Wars was just dizzy. Yeah. It was so fast. I mean, we literally got everything together in 2 weeks. I remember the story meeting for the Mace Windu episode, and I was like, yeah, we need something like to shake everything up. And I go, oh yeah, there's this big thing, and it just hits the ground, and everything, it's like an earthquake machine. And it's ridiculous, and it's fun, and it's kind of has our sensibility. And I think it's like a signature moment, I think, for that show.
Ever since she was born, I've wanted to protect my little ghoul. So I created a place where all monsters could be safe. From them!
Humans hate us.
For Hotel, it's the animation, for sure. I think we did so much fun, inventive, cartoony animation, really inspired by Warner Brothers, Tex Avery, all that stuff. But because I'm such a student of all that, we got the right sensibility that it made it its own thing. There's this scene in the first one where Johnny and Drac are in the cemetery, and Drac's really frustrated and angry, and he lifts up his arms, and he's got tiny little fingers because it was like a funny little doodle that I drew, and they totally copied it, and it made it like it's drawn, and so it was a really transformative scene, and everybody was laughing at it, and everybody loved it, and it's the fun, we're all having fun making it, it's not, we try not to take things so seriously. And, usually when we start doing cartoony stuff, the first thing I get is at 12. It's like if you have an actor or actress and they're completely overperforming every scene, you know? And that's what animation is sometimes if you don't know how to, like, calm down. This is low. Now we go high. And we can get crazy. And now let's come low again.
What kind of robot are you? Get me out of here.
But your safety will be compromised.
Now, Octus.
You know, we were trying to do John Hughes and giant robots, right? And I think the outstanding moment, I mean, first of all of the robot fighting, I thought we were at a different level for that, especially for the time that we were doing it. And there's two moments that were incredible, I think, for me, is the car chase and the Roar of the White Dragon episode, where there's this car race through the city, and it just turned out so incredible, another level of quality that I've never seen us do before. And then the other part was a relationship thing where one of my favorite story arcs where we were heading was that Octus, the robot, was in love with Kimmy, the cheerleader. And it was her doing this dance because she's trying to entice him to do her homework. And the funny thing is that a lot of people know that the whole show started out actually about a robot in high school. That was my initial concept. And then it evolved into what it was. And that was like this defining moment, that had so much character stuff and humor. And at the same time, we were doing slightly older ideas, which we felt really comfortable with.